The magical month of December is upon us, where children should dream of sweets and presents, or should they? While jolly old Saint Nick or Santa Claus represents the epitome of giving and love, there are many present within the December holiday that may leave you a bit more unnerved. Krampus is the most famous of the lot, originating in centuries-old German legend. Krampus is the anti-Santa, half-goat, half-demon beast with horns who beats children and others into submission. He carries with him birch sticks to swat the naughty and hauls the bad kids down to the underworld. Krampus makes his presence known the evening before December 6th, which is St. Nicholas Day. Folklore claims children would look out of their door to see if the shoe or boot was filled with a present for good behavior or a rod for bad behavior. In German-speaking Europe, Krampus marches in holiday parades behind a figure named Belsnickel. He's another anti-Santa and a companion of Saint Nick. He visits children alone and combines threatening but benign aspects of the holiday. Krampus and Belsnickel are the most well-known, but are mild in comparison to the others on this list. The Yule Cat. The Yule Cat is a monster from Icelandic folklore who travels the snowy countryside and eats people who have no new clothes before Christmas Eve. Farmers would use the Yule Cat as an incentive to push their workers to finish processing the autumn wool before Christmas. Workers who finished their jobs would be rewarded with new clothes. Those who did not would become victims of the fanged Yule Cat, who would eat their flesh to the bone. Perchta. Perchta is a pagan goddess that originated in Germany. Her name means the Bright One and is closely related to the Christian holiday, Three Kings Day. She's described as being a tall woman wearing a white robe. She's also said to have two faces, because the well-behaved children of Eastern Europe adore her, while the more mischievous children are mortified of her. On the 12th night of Christmas, on the feast of the Epiphany, she makes her presence known. She creeps into the houses of all the children while they're asleep. If the children were good, she leaves a piece of silver in their shoe. If they were bad, she slits their stomachs open and replaces their intestines with straw and pebbles. Piaf Utah. Piaf Utah was an evil butcher in French legend. He craved children to eat and one day lured 3 boys into his butcher shop where he killed, chopped, and salted them. Saint Nicholas came to the children's rescue and resurrected them from the dead, also making the sadistic butcher his servant. Piaf Utah's job from then onward was to dispense punishment onto the bad children on St. Nicholas Day. He's also known as the Whipping Father because he uses a whip to brutally punish bad children. The Yule Lads. The Yule Lads are 13 distinct trolls from Icelandic folklore who stole things and caused chaos during Christmas time. Some simply steal food and other goods, while others are cannibals with a taste for children. As time went on, the stories surrounding the Yule Lads was mixed with those of Santa Claus and other benevolent figures. Most people see them as another innocent iteration of the jolly holiday spirit, but there are still many people who remember the origin of the Yule Lads. Grello. She predates the Yule Lads in Icelandic legend as the ogress who kidnaps, cooks, and eats children who don't obey their parents. She became closely associated with Christmas in the 17th century when she was associated with the Yule Lads. According to legend, Grello had 3 different husbands and 72 children. All her children caused chaos ranging from harmless mischief to gruesome atrocities. It's also said that the Yule Cat lives with Grello as well. Black Peter. Black Peter is a character from Spain who is typically portrayed as someone wearing a black face and wearing a medieval costume. He's also assumed to be a servant of St. Nicholas. However, there is a long-standing unsettling theory as to the dynamic of their relationship. St. Nicholas is often depicted as taming a demonic slave who may or may not be black. Considering how creepy Black Peter can appear, it's not too much of a stretch to think that a demon would choose to appear that way as a servant to St. Nicholas. Befana. According to Christian legend, Befana was approached by the 3 wise men days before the birth of Jesus. She offered her home to the 3 wise men, and she was considered the best housekeeper in her village. The 3 wise men asked if she would accompany them on their journey, but she declined, stating she was too busy and she was also grieving the death of her own son. After the 3 wise men left, she had a change of heart and set out to find the travelers and the baby Jesus. She eventually deluded herself into thinking that Jesus was in fact her own son, but she never found him. Every Christmas, she goes into every house looking for the baby Jesus, only to be disappointed again year after year. The Calicanceros. These goblins live underground and only appear at night during the 12 days of Christmas. They cause mischief in villages, but can be avoided by leaving a fire in your home's fireplace going overnight. When the goblins see the fire, they're reminded of the underworld, they become frightened, and then leave. Consoda ghosts. In Portugal, these ghosts are the ancestors of yore. It's a tradition to invite these spirits and to also leave out food for them to enjoy.